I'm going to go over the idea of ducking, some ideas of it, right? And basically, what ducking is where we want to have the production tracks here, right? The people talking, the voiceover, be up as loud as it can be and be audible and understood, while bringing down music and effects below it when they're talking. But when people aren't talking, like big gaps like right here and here, we want to bring it up, right? So the first thing we want to do is make this audio normal, right? Or, well, normal's the wrong word, but definitely bring it up to where everything's kind of the same level. As you can see here, our narrator here has a big, strong wavelengths here, right? There's lots of frequency here, whereas at other places, people tend to drop off and get lower, right? We can do this a number of ways. One way is that we can actually start adding effects to it, which we've got in here. We can do things like match loudness, which is going to help, right? And of course, we can go into things like clarity and things and bring up the dynamics of this. Now, we should always listen to it to make sure that it sounds okay as we do this, right? So we can solo and listen.
In the past half century.
Stop.
You can even see with some of that processes, everything kind of works here in the VU meters where everything's up the same. Some other things we can do is actually start to rubber band this, whereas you can see here, right here, this gets softer, right? We can zoom in and we can start adding some automation by double clicking on this volume line and bringing it up a bit. We can see how that is.
The deadliest tornado in the past half century.
Stop.
As you can see, that pretty much hits dead on with where we want it. All right, now this gets louder again because this is the narrator. So we can bring this down to 0 dB. And then as we get up here, all right, there's a little frequency here. We can bring this up. We can see how this looks.
About 160 miles south of Kansas City.
We were at my little brother's high school.
Great. And because everyone else's vocals right here are about the same looking as far as how big the wavelengths are here, or the waveforms here, I should say, it's looking better. So that's pretty good. So that's making everything kind of at the same level, which is great. Now, on the last tutorial, we added buses, right? Where we have bus B is going to be the sound effects, and bus C down here, right, would be the music. Okay, so we have our buses down here, and we can actually go ahead and rename these if we wanted to. You don't need to for the points, but definitely so you don't get confused, we can call this sound effects, and then bus C can be music. Okay, now this is going to help us duck, right? So let's take music for example, right? We can open up our automation where our rubber band is. These are called envelopes, by twirling open this caret right here, right? By the reading, we're having the show envelope. So we have music here where we play the beginning. No, let me go ahead and here we go. We have the music going on.
A little before 6 p.m. Sunday, May 22nd, 2011, an EF5 tornado, the strongest measured tornado, tore through the middle of Joplin, Missouri. This tornado is being called the deadliest tornado in the past half century.
Stop. I got on video.
Okay, right here, the audio needs to come up a bit, right? For the music. So it's good enough. We can go ahead and add a keyframe here, and we can bring this up and we can see how this sounds.
On video.
It sounds better, but we can do better than that. Let's have it start sooner.
I got on video.
Joplin.
Okay, now, as he comes in with Joplin, you need the music to go down, right? So I'm going to go to where at the beginning where he starts to say Joplin, and we will go ahead and put 2 keyframes here, and I will lower this down to 0 dB where it has it, and this should sound okay.
Joplin, a gritty, blue-collar town of 50,000.
That sounds pretty good. In fact, I'm going to lower this master probably down to like 11 dB.
Joplin, a gritty, blue-collar town.
Great. And now, if you notice, when it actually plays, right, it says Joplin, and the music goes down, you don't really notice the music going down, right?
Joplin, a gritty, blue-collar town.
This is considered good ducking. Now, what is considered bad ducking is when you can actually hear the music go down in volume, right? And that usually happens if you do it before the person starts talking or you take too long to do it. So, for instance, this would be considered bad.
Joplin,
Right? You hear the difference?
Joplin,
Right? Because it's lowering down where you can hear it where it's supposed to be really loud. It sounds bad. So if we bring this back to where it's supposed to be, this is considered good ducking.
Joplin, a gritty, blue-collar town of 50,000 people, about 160.
Now see, you can do this both with effects and with music. And this is what you're going to need to do. So especially when it gets over here towards the tornado stuff where you have a lot of effects going on, right? You also have people talking during these effects. So at some points, you're going to have to bring it all down. Now, because you have all these effects on one bus, right, which is right here, it's going to be easy to globally lower all those effects and then bring them back up when people aren't talking. So this is the concept of ducking, and this is how we use our buses to help mix.